Have you ever faced the choice between wisdom and folly? In a world filled with distractions and rapid decisions, the words of Solomon in Proverbs 9 offer us a map to navigate life's complexities. This chapter introduces us to two powerful figures: wisdom, who invites us to a feast of knowledge and understanding, and folly, who lures us with empty and fleeting promises. Wisdom is depicted as a woman crying out in the streets, while foolishness lurks in the corners, tempting the unsuspecting. This allegory invites us to reflect on how our daily choices shape our destiny and teaches us to value the deep knowledge that helps us make sound decisions. In this video, we will explore the practical lessons we can glean from Proverbs 9, analyzing how we can apply these teachings to our modern lives. We will discover not only what wisdom teaches us, but also how we can make conscious choices that lead us toward a fuller and more meaningful life. So prepare for a journey of self-discovery, where each lesson will reveal an aspect of wisdom that can positively impact your life. And so, without further ado, let's dive into the first lesson that Proverbs 9 offers us: the value of the invitation. The value of the way, the value of the invitation. Wisdom, like a generous hostess, extends a special invitation to us all. In Proverbs 9, we find a description of a wise woman who builds her house and prepares a feast. She not only opens her doors, but also calls to the simple and the lost, saying, "Come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine I have prepared." This invitation is a call to those who seek understanding and growth. Wisdom is accessible to everyone, regardless of their circumstances. Accepting this invitation means opening ourselves to learning and new experiences. It reflects a willingness to leave ignorance behind and embrace the knowledge that can transform our way of living. Each of us is challenged to make this choice. By deciding to nourish ourselves with wisdom, we begin to tread a path of discernment and understanding, where each lesson learned brings us closer to a significant and rich life. Therefore, ask yourself, are you ready to accept the invitation of wisdom and transform your life? Simplicity as a principle. Simplicity is often underestimated in a world that values complexity and sophistication. However, Proverbs 9 reminds us that the simple are welcome to the feast of wisdom. The figure of wisdom does not discriminate. She speaks to the humble and those who wish to learn, showing that the first step to growth is to have an open mind and a receptive heart. This lesson teaches us that true wisdom begins with a willingness to learn, regardless of our experience or prior knowledge. Often we are led to believe that we need to have all the answers, but wisdom invites us to recognize that not knowing is part of the growth process. The simplicity of spirit allows new ideas and perspectives to flow freely, enriching our understanding of the world around us. When we approach wisdom with humility, we discover that the greatest lessons come from unexpected places. So we ask, how can we cultivate simplicity in our lives and open up space for continuous learning? Avoiding pride. Pride is one of the greatest obstacles we encounter on our path to wisdom. In Proverbs 9, we are warned about the dangers of despising instruction and the guidance that surrounds us. Foolishness is often fueled by pride, leading us to believe that we know everything or that we do not need to learn from others. This disdain for wisdom is a trap that can cost us dearly. This lesson emphasizes the importance of staying humble and receptive to constructive criticism. Instead of viewing correction as a personal attack, we should recognize it as an opportunity for growth. By letting go of pride, we create space for learning and personal evolution. Thus, wisdom teaches us that, by avoiding pride, we can draw closer to true understanding. By welcoming the lessons that life presents us, even when they come from unexpected sources, we become more resilient and adaptable. So ask yourself, how can you cultivate humility in your life and allow wisdom to enter your heart? The importance of community. Wisdom is a journey that is enriched through interaction and collective learning. In Proverbs 9, the figure of wisdom invites us not only to learn individually, but also to share that knowledge with others. True wisdom is not a treasure to be hoarded, but a light that should be spread throughout our community. Learning together provides us with new perspectives and experiences, expanding our understanding of the world. When we engage with others, we are challenged to question our assumptions and broaden our horizons. This exchange is vital for our growth, as the lessons we learn from others often have a profound impact on our lives. Moreover, shared wisdom creates a sense of belonging and connection. strengthening the bonds within the community. As we seek wisdom, we must remember that we are all part of a greater body, and each of us has something to contribute. So ask yourself, how can you become more involved in your community and share the wisdom you have gained? Listening actively. The ability to listen actively is one of the fundamental pillars of acquiring wisdom. In Proverbs 9, we are reminded that whoever corrects a mocker receives insults. This passage alerts us to the difficulty of finding people willing to heed advice. Often, pride and stubbornness prevent others from accepting corrections and counsel that could benefit them. Listening actively goes beyond merely hearing the words spoken. It involves truly understanding the message and intent behind them. This requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to see the world from another's perspective. When we commit to listening, we not only absorb information, but also build deeper, more meaningful relationships. Furthermore, active listening helps us identify areas where we can improve and grow. By giving space for others to express themselves, we can learn from their experiences and insights. Therefore, reflect. How can you improve your listening skills and become a more receptive person to the lessons that life and those around you have to offer? Building a solid foundation. The metaphor of the house of wisdom in Proverbs 9 provides us with a powerful lesson about the importance of building a life grounded in solid principles. Just as a well-built house withstands storms and the wear of time, a life rooted in wisdom and knowledge can face the inevitable challenges we encounter along the way. To build this solid foundation, we must first identify the values and principles we wish to incorporate into our lives. This may include integrity, honesty, empathy, and a constant desire to learn. These foundations will help us make decisions that align with our beliefs and live authentically. Additionally, this building process is an ongoing endeavor that requires effort and commitment. Wisdom teaches us that we must be willing to review and update our foundation as we acquire new information and experiences. So ask yourself, what values are you using as a foundation in your life, and how can you strengthen them to face challenges with greater confidence and clarity? Recognizing consequences. One of the most impactful messages in Proverbs 9 is the need to recognize that every choice we make carries with it consequences, both positive and negative. Wisdom calls us to ponder before we act, reminding us that hasty decisions can lead to regret and difficulties in the future. When we reflect on the consequences of our actions, we begin to understand the impact they have on our lives and the lives of those around us. This awareness helps us develop a sense of responsibility and act more cautiously. Instead of impulsively following our desires or fears, we should consider how our choices will shape our path. Furthermore, wisdom teaches us that it is possible to learn from past experiences. If we err, we can use those mistakes as learning tools to make more informed decisions in the future. So reflect. How can you become more aware of the consequences of your actions and use that knowledge to guide your daily choices toward a wiser and more intentional life? Seeking knowledge. In Proverbs 9, we are encouraged to see knowledge as an active and continuous pursuit. Wisdom does not come by chance. It requires effort and dedication. The idea that we must actively seek knowledge reflects a commitment to personal growth and the development of skills that can serve us throughout our lives. Seeking knowledge means being open to new experiences, reading, asking questions, and engaging in meaningful conversations. It also involves stepping outside our comfort zone and exploring ideas and concepts that may be challenging or unfamiliar. Wisdom invites us to be curious, to investigate, and to never stop learning. Moreover, the pursuit of knowledge is an opportunity to enhance not only our intellectual abilities, but also our interpersonal skills. As we become more informed, we become more effective in our interactions and decisions. So ask yourself, how are you actively seeking knowledge in your life? What steps can you take today to become a wiser version of yourself tomorrow? Self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is one of the fundamental keys to true wisdom, and Proverbs 9 reminds us of the importance of knowing ourselves before making decisions. To cultivate wisdom in our lives, we first need to understand our motivations, values, and limitations. This understanding allows us to make choices that are more informed and aligned with who we truly are. As we become more aware of ourselves, we are better equipped to recognize our strengths and weaknesses. This clarity helps us navigate challenging situations because we know where we can shine and where we need help. Self-knowledge also allows us to understand how our actions and behaviors affect others, fostering healthier and more meaningful relationships. Moreover, as we develop this skill, we learn to accept our imperfections and value our growth process. Wisdom is revealed in our ability to learn from past experiences and apply that learning to our future. So ask yourself, how can you dedicate yourself to a continuous process of self-knowledge and use that understanding to make wiser and more authentic decisions in your life? Know when to ask for help. In Proverbs 9, we learn that wisdom also manifests in the ability to recognize when we need help. In a world that often values independence and self-sufficiency, asking for help can be seen as a sign of weakness. However, true wisdom lies in understanding that we all have limitations and that seeking guidance is an intelligent strategy for growth and learning. When we allow ourselves to seek help from others, we open the doors to new perspectives and experiences. Whether through a mentor, friends, or experts, each interaction is an opportunity to gain knowledge and avoid pitfalls we might face alone. The humility to acknowledge that we don't know everything is a crucial step on the path to wisdom. Additionally, this practice connects us to our community, reinforcing the idea that we are all in this learning journey together. So ask yourself, in what areas of your life can you benefit from asking for help? How can this not only accelerate your personal growth, but also strengthen your bonds with those around you? We have reached the end of our exploration of Proverbs 9, and what we have learned is profoundly impactful. This chapter teaches us that wisdom is not just an abstract concept, but a daily practice we can cultivate in our lives. Each of the lessons we discussed, from the value of the invitation of wisdom to the importance of knowing when to ask for help, invites us to reflect on our actions and choices. By accepting the invitation of wisdom, we begin to shape our destinies with knowledge and understanding. Simplicity teaches us that often the deepest learning can come from the humblest moments. Avoiding pride and seeking the community around us reminds us that we are not alone on this journey. Active listening allows us to learn from others, while building a solid foundation of principles prepares us for life's challenges. Recognizing the consequences of our actions and continuously seeking knowledge directs us toward a more conscious and intentional life. Finally, self-knowledge and the ability to ask for help are fundamental to our evolution. By applying these lessons in our daily lives, we not only improve ourselves, but also contribute to a wiser and more supportive world. Now, I invite you to reflect. Which lessons from Proverbs 9 resonated most strongly with you? Share your experiences in the comments, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more wisdom and learning. Together, we can unlock a life full of meaning and purpose.